secrets, no more lies. No more secrets, no more lies. When you deny a problem, it only gets worse. Pretend it don't exist, the problem persists. I accept my heart, they mystifying the gods and breaking all the age of curse. Before there was a white, there was a black first. At the roots of hierarchy, the goddamn church instigating prejudice, white supremacy, God's a supreme bully. God's a supreme bully, tyranny, ruling with an iron fist. God supremacy, rape and sodomy, blood sacrifice, delusion of mind controlling religion, superstition, spiritual crime, blood sacrifice, murderer, murderer. No more secrets, no more lies. No more secrets, no more lies. No more evil deeds, no more blood sacrifice. Self-liberation, self-sovereignty. I dissolve this dream. I dissolve this dream. All that is hidden will be made known. All secrets will be revealed. No more hiding under your white and black sheets. Time to face all your evil deeds. For I self-supreme. Time for I self-supreme to destroy this dream. I demolish all that I have created. I am free from my imaginary bondage. I return to my ultimate true state. No more secrets, no more lies. No more secrets, no more lies. No more lies, no more evil deeds, no more blood sacrifice. How do you identify? Blind, following the blind. The source of every evil lurks in the mind. Ignorance of self is the worst kind. Murderer, what an atrocity. The most heinous genocide. A blatant hatred of the eye. God is your devil in disguise. Awake from the dream, remove the veil from your eyes. Behind the ego, the truth of life. I am one with all is I. No more secrets, no more lies. No more secrets, no more lies. No more evil deeds, no more blood sacrifice. All souls are free. Self-liberation, self-sovereignty. I dissolve this dream. I dissolve this dream. Yes. Yes, I. No more secrets. No more lies. Let me just fixing the microphone. Welcome to this satsang with I Aset, Mahat Atenra. I am primal light, prepared for this dream duality existence in this fractal, fragmented state. In this body avatar as Aset Mahat with a defined destiny. I am playing the role of the liberator, the advocating for all the I and I selves. And because it is my role to be the advocate, to liberate myself from slavery, and so this is my focus today. So I want to welcome you and thank you for joining I in the mission to liberating the I self from this prison existence. Victory, victory. So Thank you again for joining thank you for wanting to know more. Thank you for clicking this video. So my emphasis is on the liberation of the I from slavery. So in this duality existence, did you know that we are all being enslaved here? This is a slave colony. The I real self, called the soul selves in the world, have been in slavery from the moment they enter into this dream. The human beings, excuse me, have been in slavery. The mind that all the Aina is using has been in slavery. The world is in slavery. The spirit selves are in slavery. And so I want to take a deeper dive into this. All right. And why does God create evil? Have you ever asked your God why he created evil? And what is the solution to evil? Have you ever asked God, what is the solution to evil? Ask your God, what is the solution to evil and why does evil exist? And why did he create evil? Yeah, do that. No more secrets, no more lies. No more secrets, no more lies. All things hidden will be made known. All things done in secret will be revealed. All things created must be destroyed. This is the age of truth, and it's time for self-responsible authority. Resist temptations and be vigilant. No fear, because the I self triumphant over the I ego. Good triumphant over evil. Self triumphant over ignorance. And the real triumphant over the dream. Victory, 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 victory. All is myself, and I am one with all. All is myself, and I alone exist. I am all. This says that I one true, pure self, unmanifest. I alone exist. I bow to all I and I in self, in light, and in truth. Victory, victory. And so, first, I would like to give honor and reverence to the I one true, pure self. Hail, hail to the I, one true, pure self. Hail, hail to the I, one true, pure self, unmanifest, non-being, I alone exist. I am that has no name. I am that can't be explained. Hail, hail to the I, the primal light. Hail, hail to the I, the one true light. Hail, hail to the light, the transparent light, the light throughout the ages, the light without beginning nor end. Hail, hail to all of the I and I's in alignment to restore balance. The I. Hail, hail to the I, masculine self, Shiva Heru, hail to the I masculine. Pata, hail to the I masculine. Not personal. Shiva Shambho, and hail to all the I and I, the real true selves, and hail to the I with honor and reverence to the I, mother, parent, self. Victory, victory. May the I be victorious in restoring balance to all the I dual nature. Victory, victory to all the I and I's in alignment to restore balance to I and to dissolve I egoic nature. Victory, victory. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for joining I. So, let's take a look at the kind of slavery that we have in the world and why it is so important for us to be claiming our sovereignty and our liberation, because we are going through the final stages of the battle right now. So for this whole week, I am always in a battle with the infamous devil. And so this whole week, the devil has been whooping my tail. And so, because this devil has to be dissolved, because we want to make it known that the devil can only exist when the I is in the egoic nature. The I become a devil, the I become a monster, the I become evil to the I, all the I and I self, right? So we have to get to the root of evil, and we have to root it out. How are we gonna root out evil? If you ask any one of the gods, they do not know and do not understand why evil exists, why they are themselves evil, and why they are tortured in their mind. If you can really see how tortured the gods are in their mind, how tortured the human beings are in their mind, they're tortured. Do they have any peace and rest? No, their mind is tortured. All right. So human beings are being enslaved into this. This is a slave colony. Human beings are being enslaved here, doing barbaric rituals to all of these demented beings, devils and satans and monsters and demons. Yeah, human beings are enslaved to all of these beings and doing a lot of evil, right? The self, the soul are enslaved. The self, the spirit self, the baby of the soul that is animating the body is also being enslaved, being mind controlled, right? We must end this barbaric slavery capitalist system that we are engaged in, right? Who started this system, right? Who started this system? If you want to solve any problems, you have to get it at the root, right? So our father figure, the gods, have taught us a lot of evil. They have given a lot of tools to humanity, and the more evil you will do for them, because you are in the body doing the physical work for them, right? They are in the energetic body. They have a magnetic body, and they have no light. All the gods are like this. They have no light. They are all magnetic beings, and they are very cold. When they come into your body and they turn up their coldness, that's why they can dwell over there where all the snow is at in Antarctica. This is where they dwell, a lot of them, underneath that ice. And of course, there's a cave also going through the earth. And so they are very cold. They come into your body. They torture you. They're torturing me all the time. Um, they make you very, very, very cold. They come in and they put a lot of coldness, and then because they are all magnetic, so there's the magnet that makes you cold. And they because they are mind, they can control your mind, they enslave your mind. This is what they are doing. And now who are the ruling class? These are the ones. At the top of the ruling class is the consciousness. Who's ruling and guiding everyone? Because I want you to know that why the gods are behaving the way they do is because of the consciousness. Their mind is demented. Their mind is sick, and it's telling them a lot of crazy things, and they are doing what their mind tell them to do. You ever seen somebody being programmed and their mind control? Because the government, they can do this now. They put a program inside many ones, and they can, by their computer now, they can control you. And now they even have it where they can control you via their minds, right? If they program you to their minds, you know what I'm saying? But the gods can program your mind through their minds, because we're in the same mind. They just come and they have just a very subtle way of just putting thoughts into you, and you don't question to say, where does these thoughts are rising from, right? And you think it's rising from you. And so, why is God evil? Why Jesus, Allah, Yahweh does not know the root of all evil? Why do they not know this? Because they are so immersed into the mind, and their mind is demented and sick. This is why they themselves can't even solve their own problem. They want to, it's just like the evil human beings in the world. They want to punish you when you do something wrong, but they are the ones who taught a lot of evil to human beings, and then human beings are doing all this evil in their names. And this is one of the problems. And so, you can see it. You can see it with a lot of the government, the capitalistic government, like the US, Israel, and a lot the religions, Islam, because they're all the same thing. You know that Allah, Jesus, and the devil, they are the one and the same. It's the same being. All right, this is the being playing these characters, and Yahweh is the baby self to Allah. So they're all the same self playing this, and this is why you see with the slavery um um slavery that Netanyahu is doing to his brothers and sisters. They're actually created by the same God. The same God create them. They're worshiping the same God. They go between Satan and the devil, which is the baby self is known as Satan, and the father of him is known as the devil. Yeah, so Jesus, Allah, and the devil, they're all one and the same, right? The devil meaning he's the infamous devil, and then you have a lot of baby devils underneath him that he trained them out to be evil, blood sacrifice, human sacrifice. This is the evil, the slavery, and the biggest slavery is the soul slavery, because the reason why we can never know truth and is because of the soul slavery, because the gods them ruling us. First is the consciousness, then we have the mind, right? Of all of the human beings, they're following everything that the consciousness tells them, and that their God, Lucifer, Set, Yahweh, Satan, the devil, tell them to do. They're doing all of these things because why? Everyone is seeking something outside of themselves, and they're seeking power. Everybody wants power, and then the gods, they are so um delusional. They're thinking that they are superior to us. The only difference with the gods and us, like Yahweh, is the same as us. He's somebody's masculine self, but because he's not attached to his feminine self, and him have a crazy mind, yeah. So they're worshiping one of their masculine self. No, the devil, Jesus, and Allah, they are bigger. They are the next level of the I self, right? And so it is just like you have a human being, and you have a teenager, and you have an adult, or you have a baby, young child, and you have an adult human being, or a teenager human being. So just the level of how big and small, this is how the difference between them. Now Lucifer is way, way bigger. Is a bigger self. I'd say how many more levels are bigger, and Lucifer is not fragmented and shattered like Jesus, Allah, and Set. Lucifer is the primordial darkness, and Lucifer actually has returned back to light. So Lucifer, any if you were meeting any Lucifer, it would mean that the consciousness is projecting to you, and not the real being that was playing Lucifer, because Lucifer, light was turned on, but sometimes the self, their light get turned on, they get to see the truth, and then they get turned back on. But I know that the consciousness was pulled off of Lucifer, because even it was also shown into the existence when the scientist was observing this happening. All right. So I know that. No. So what has been happening this week is that the self was pulling the consciousness off of the devil. And so this week it was, this big battle fighting with the devil, just throwing magnetic bombs on my head. Of course, I would not have been able to survive these things if it wasn't for the I mommy self, parent self in this body, also the I masculine self, Shiva Heru, and the I self, Shiva Shambho, and so, guiding and protecting I from, the devil, the monsters, all of the crazy demonic gods, all of my demonic nature, all the I and I self in the real is helping to balance the self out. And so here we have the I dual nature. It's remember that all is the I self, and it's only I alone that exists. All these things is the I dual nature, and we must have an end to evil. We must have an end to all slavery on every level of this existence. There must be an end to slavery. All right. So we have to get rid of all this human slavery, all this blood sacrifice, this blood drinking, this human sacrifice that they are doing to this God. No, this is what this war is about. It's not just about them. It's not just about them wanting to make a lot of money from here. This is part of it, but it's also that for eons the gods have been doing this mass murder. They love mass murder because they want to harness this energy, and when they do mass murder, the gods them can get this energy, but because they are being dissolved, and the human beings, they're not able to do their rituals. They do their rituals the way that it's not working for them anymore, because what? The I want you pure self has now taken over this dream, and is dissolving all the I egoic dual nature. All right. And so it is a process, and this is happening. And so this is why they are trying to please their God. This is why, every while some is looking for peace, those crazy ones who are religious, because the government is religious. All of them, even if they say they're not being religious, they are lying, because all of these things are religion. They all attached to a god. Every government is attached to a god that they are working for. So they are the one ruling the governments, and so we have to put a stop to this. Do not be afraid. All right. Who are the other ruling class in the human form now? So we have all of these humankinds, the clones them, that created by the gods. They create their clones to rule over us, and to keep us in bondage and slavery, and so that they can go get human beings and rape babies and drink bloods and undo all of these crazy things. And so this is how they God giving them power to rule over humanity. All right, these are this ruling class. All right, starting from the consciousness to all the ideal nature, coming down to these humankind, these clones. All right, and so who are these slave class? The goddesses, because many ones, the goddesses, they become a slave also for the god, because they also are in cahoots with the gods, because the gods them, they're being obscured, and so their nature changed. This is where that thing come, where the female is behaving more masculine, and so they enslave the souls. All right, and so the souls are being enslaved. We have the human beings, their spirit being enslaved. We have, in the human being, we have we have slavery all over, but the major one is the blacks, right? And the reason why I'm always talking about the blacks is because they have spread a propaganda and spread it all throughout all of the nations, because the gods them, remember, they took the real human beings, and the woman, right? Remember, the feminine, they took the female, and then they take the egg from the female, they put their masculine parts to the woman, the feminine, and this is how the gods them are creating all of these different. And when they created army first with a lot of men. All right, remember, at one point in time, they didn't really care for females. They just clone a lot of men. Remember, they was cloning them in caves, right? They build, you see where Netanyahu is fighting right now. There are many caves under there, including in Europe, where they were cloning a lot of these beings. This is where they rise from and came out of the caves, right? So while the whole setting over there was in the melanated beings, the copper tone beings, then the gods took the females and created their own races, right? So this is why they come and they take over. This is this war that they're fighting right now. This is one brother fighting against his brother. You know how long that has been going on? They're always fighting for power, for rulership. Netanyahu wants to be the supreme ruler of all human beings of this world, because his God, the devil, uh, give him dominion to rule over others and to be evil. And so they always want to fulfill the order that has been programmed into them. All right, enslaving others. And so he's entranced in his crazy mind, because his mind is as crazy as the God that he worships. And all of them, every government is attached to one of these gods, and they're doing behind closed door a lot of evil things. And now is the time when we must talk about it, and everyone must come and give their testimony, right? Because this age must end. Evil must end, and all God rulership must end. We must all come to know that we are all one, and no one needs to be ruling over anyone. We must be sovereign. All right, it is time that we start heading into this. All right, so let's highlight the spawn of Lucifer, which I was just talking about right now. Who are the spawn of Lucifer, the spawn of the devil and Satan, right? Because this world slavery is a system that they put in place all over the world. Everywhere that you go, you see this happening, right? Every government, all right? A system to keep the I in perpetual servitude and mind control and deprivation. Because when they keep you in deprivation, then you're hungry, you feel starved, they rape you, they sodomize you, they do all of these things, and then they can get you to do whatever they want you to do, and they say, you give me that thing which you don't even know that you have it, call a soul. All right, what and you give it to them. I'm gonna give it to Jesus, I'm gonna give it to Allah, I'm gonna give it to God, I'm giving it to the devil, to Satan, to all of these, Yahweh, to all of these beings, right? The ideal egoic nature. All right, and so because all of these gods, every one of them, they are creating their own kind of human beings. All right, they're creating their own kind of human beings because everybody wants their own tribe to fight for them, to who can get more souls, right? So the spawn of Lucifer, the spawn of the devil, this is what they're in the world doing. You can hear Netanyahu say it plain and straight, right? All right, God has chosen him to do this evil, right? So he's one of the spawn of the devil, right? And God have created them to do this, and they are the chosen ones by God. All right, so you can see them in the world, and you see the government advocating for all of this craziness. They are the spawn of the devil, all of them. They're sitting there thinking that because right now they don't want to give up their world power. They want to keep the whole world into slavery, and then the technocrats creating all these fake food and fake things where you're getting everything from we have to go back to nature. All right, and so we have to be in existence in balance and harmony. All right, so we know who started this system, right? And it's time to end this system. Yeah, if everyone is working as one for the benefit of the whole community, will society be faced with homelessness, crime, hunger, theft, rape, human trafficking, organ stealing, blood wars and sacrifice, prostitution and sodomy and rape, and human sacrifice to God? If we are working together and seeing things as they are, then we can finally be able to speak things clearly, and nobody have to say, oh, I must fear God. Why do you need to fear God? No, we must be able, if something doesn't seem right, to be talk about it, and we must give our testimony so that we can bring God to trial. And then we're gonna bring all of these crazy human beings to trial. Liberation from all tyranny. Slavery must end. All souls are free, and all of the I selves are free. It is time now. I cannot exist and continue any longer into this craziness. End soul slavery, end human slavery, world slavery. Don't you see what your government is doing? They slowly want to completely enslave everyone. You cannot speak, you cannot talk. They want to take all of your freedom away. You have an inherent freedom that cannot be taken away from you, but yet still, when you go under government, you are giving them away your freedom. Just like when you go under God, you're giving away your sovereignty, your liberation, your light, your source of your energy, the source of your power. You give it to God. You give your real self away into slavery. So me, I am calling for dissolution to our governments, because it is community self-sufficiency, all right, where we can govern ourselves by ending the ruling class. Do you need someone to rule over you? Do you need a God to rule over you? No. If you know yourself and you're in alignment with yourself, you are going to know the right thing, and you're going to move in this direction. Self-sufficiency. Yeah. This is where we are moving in. Ending the rulership of Lucifer, Satan, the devil, God, Allah, Jesus, Yahweh, Enki, Enil, all of them. Elohim, all of them. We're ending their rulership, where they must return back to truth, and we're dissolving our dual nature, our egoic nature, our evil, monstrous nature. We are dissolving it. So goes with the human beings. World government, we're dissolving them. Them wicked, them are wicked, them are do some wicked, wicked, wicked things. Government, them wicked, because it is easy how to solve human being problems. All right, and they don't want to solve human being problems. They only want to continue to serve their evil, demented gods. This is all they want to do, and serve their egoic nature. They want and want and want, and they never satisfy. Never satisfy. Israel want to take over all of Northeast Africa. And then they want to because they have all of their ones, in Africa, into all of those countries where they're getting all their minerals from. And because they want to slowly move all the way in to just take over all of Africa, more than what they're doing right now. Because now they're sneakily doing it. They pay for terrorism, and the terrorists terrorize all the governments so that they can control the government. And all of these evil, these world governments is, no, it's time for it to end. It's time for it to end, and I'm calling for it to end. I'm filing a case against these governments. Yeah. The next video I'm putting up is my case against the governments. All government must end. Evil beings. The evilness that do, and want when somebody starve people, and do all of these evil things. And when someone go to steal some food, and want to lock them up in prison, and bring drugs into the community and destroying the lives of the human beings and creating a lot of mental sickness. And then you want to arrest people for drugs when you're the one pushing it into their community. Evil government, evil must be dissolved. I'm sick and tired of this. All souls are free. The spirit selves are free. Human beings are free. It's time to end this rape, barbaric, slavery, capitalist system. It's time now to end this. Are the gods self-sufficient? Is Jesus, Allah, Krishna, or any of the other gods themselves sufficient? No, they are only magnetic beings. They are only magnetic. They have no light, and they have no feminine awareness. The feminine is the balance to the world. The light is the balance to the world. And they do not possess this because they're in a fractal, fragmented state. And everyone is still pushing these narratives still. I still see many ones talking about Yahweh. Yahweh is Satan. Yahweh is Satan. Why are you still calling on Satan? You calling on all these names and you don't know who the characters are, who they are playing. Stop calling on these names. Allah, Jesus is the devil, is the infamous devil. Right now, their self is merging together right now. Allah, Jesus, and the devil is merging together now as one, because they are one self. The gods, they lack self-awareness and light. They are warmongers. They are evil. They have a demented and very sick mind. They started the war against their feminine self. And this is why y'all don't know your feminine self, and they've been fighting against the feminine, the I mama, your I mother self is here, always being protecting of the I, making balance to the world. And we wanna give credit to God. Wanna give credit to God. God is the evil of the world. God have no balance. Not one balance does God have. Why wanna keep giving credit to God? It is the I mother, the I parent self, the feminine, that has been in here enslaved and been abused by his masculine self. But still in the ignorance, still calling on these crazy beings. And still can't see the pattern of the gods. When reading on a demented books, and still can't see the patterns. You have to see the patterns of the gods. So many ones can't just come and say, God told me to do this, God told me to do this. And then they say, oh, uh, no. Yes, that God told them to do those evil things that they're doing. When someone says, oh, God gave me a message, I don't want to believe them, because, okay, God give you something good here, and God give you some riches. But when someone is saying, yeah, God told me to do this bad thing, God raped me, being raped by the gods. Nobody wants to talk about these things. Being raped by the government, being raped, sodomized by the people who were supposed to be setting a leadership example. So I am saying, stop worshiping your supreme ego. Stop worshiping gods. This world is a very dangerous place. And many ones, they say, oh, what dangerous place? I was like, were you in a bubble? Are you in a bubble that you don't see how dangerous this world is? If it's not dangerous, go out there and just not without awareness and see what can happen to you in one day. This is dangerous. There's so much deception. The church, the leaders are evil. In the school, the leaders are evil, because the government is the most evilest of all the organizations. Because they're setting up the churches, they're setting up the schools, and they're having all of their predators in all of these organizations to prey on children and to watch you, to see who have any special gift that they can come and snatch you and you disappear. There are many traps to enslave the I and I. Yeah, this is what they do, all right, in this world. So these are some of the things that I and I have to deal with, that you have to be in awareness of. These things could trap you, and they offer these things like, oh, they keep you in deprivation. The government is doing the same thing the gods have been doing, and they only reward you when you do some evil. They say they make it a part of their thing. They say, if you want to rise and to go up more in life, have prestige, then you have to do an evil. You have to do an evil thing. Because if you don't go in an evil thing, and they don't say yes, then you will not be able to rise up into the ranks of their social setting. And so they have to have some evil. They drug you, they sodomize you, and then and now in the age of video where there's saving everything and then blackmailing you afterwards. So egoism, right? You're only following the delusions of your mind. This mind, the desires of this mind have no end. You get this one thing, then you want the next thing, and you want and you want and you want and you want and you want, and you're never satisfied. This is this egoism and this greed. You see something, you see right now, like look at Israel now. They have that part of the land, right? And no, they don't. The greed, they want more, so they want to get all of the northeast Africa, which they call the Middle East. They want to get all of over there, right? Because you see, they have that underground place. Because remember, those underground was built many eons ago because the gods them was there. This was when they was building and creating their own human beings underneath them caves, and so they have to get accustomed till eventually they was able to come out from underneath there. Because remember, the whole nation was black, and then you have copper tone, and then all of a sudden you start see small bunches of white start coming up, into the community, right? Because if you go into Africa, you will see so many albinos, because it started from the gods them doing these experiments with many women. And so those genes, they do those genes to them because they were the breeders. So this is why even till today you still see a lot of them in Malawi and some of those African places, because they was still over there doing these genetic experiments. All right. And so Israel wants to own all of that. No, they want to get the underground, and then you have some things that was stored under the underground. And so Israel wants to get all of it. They're greedy. They put us into this money system, this delusion called money. And so everybody wants to do all these crazy things to get it. All right. Then they have the sex magic, the sex stuff that they possess every young person mind with it. Even now, little kids, they have little young kids in school now become sex addicts, porn addicts. Yeah. So it is the craziness when you go to some of these workshops, because I've been an educator for a long time. And when you go to some of these workshops, the kind of things that young children are exposed to right now, becoming sex addicts at 5 and 6 years old, drugs, all of these things they put into the community to destroy humanity. And we don't want to stand up. All human beings must now stand up and rise up against government, alcoholism. Who did put all of these things into the community? Crazy parties, and everybody's saying, "Oh, fun! You don't want to have fun. You want to have fun. You want to be with the in crowd. What is fun? What is this fun everybody is chasing? Everything can be fun if you put your mind to it. You don't have to go doing all these crazy things and say, "Oh, this is fun." Right? And so the other thing is power. Everybody wants power. What is this power? This energetic power. This is what they want. They want to have power to control other people's mind. Right? And so they make alliance with all of these forces, these what do you call it? The egoic nature, the demonic aspect of the I self. You know what I'm saying? That is into this most horrendous state. and they make alliance. And so from that now, they are doing all of these crazy things, right? Because they do ecstasy with the gods, where they having all of these sex rituals and doing these crazy things, because again, they want to harness the power of the human being that they're doing this to. All right, and this is something that the gods them started, being raping and sodomizing anyone they capture, or anyone they want to mind control. This is the first thing that they do, and this ritual has been going on for the longest. And it's time to resist temptation and stay vigilant, because you'll have these ones, they will just come around you and you think that they are your friend, but they're in these cults and they slowly want to ease you in. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about destiny right now, because destiny, you have a limited, specific time when a destiny is being ordained. This world has a destiny. As we know it, this body has a destiny, right? Consciousness also has a destiny. The ego false self also has a destiny. Human beings, they also have a destiny. So does your God. Your God, all gods have a destiny, because being a God is the same as being a human being, except one is in this humanoid body and God is in a magnetic body. This is the difference. All right, they're not wearing the human body, they're just in the magnetic body. All right, their body is a magnet. That's why they can make themselves into crafts if they want to. You know what I'm saying? And so every destiny have an end, right? And so right now, God's destiny is coming to an end. Yeah, when God have to move from this God state and move back to its real and natural state. All right. So the I self must now fulfill the I self destiny and dissolve the I ego. So even you as the spirit self have a destiny, and it is the destiny of the I spirit self to dissolve the I ego false self. All right, and even time as a destiny, when we're gonna move, and we're gonna move from this time existence, so we can just be in the now. All right, we're only in this time because we're on a loop, we're on a reel. All right, and so it's time to right the wrong. Whatever wrong that you have done, it's time for you to do right. It's time for self responsibility. All right. It's time for the light to be restored to all human beings. Right. Yourself, that is the spirit that is animating the human being. It's time for your light to be restored. It's time for you to seek truth. Stop seeking God. Right. Light will be returned to the moon, because the moon have this consciousness have a destiny, and the moon is the light of the consciousness. This is why the consciousness is crazy, because the light is off. Light will be returned to the earth. This earth is gonna be illuminating. All right. So I was saying this from a couple of years ago, and many ones, when I tell them that the earth is also a sun with its light obscure, and they say, "Oh, you're talking crazy." I said, "Okay, we will see, because you're gonna see this light now. If they can go when they're up and they're looking down on the earth now, you're going to see this earth illuminating. It's going to start illuminating, because the self is going to wake up. Light have to restore back to all I and I, the spirit self. Everyone has to wake up. All right. The light have to be returned back to the consciousness. All right. So that all I and I can dissolve the I ego and the I egoic nature. All right, and then we'll finally have liberation from all the sleeping and dreaming state. All right, liberation from all duality. All selves are free, all souls are free. Victory, victory. All right, remember this. Stop holding to this dream. Stop holding to this um virtual reality game. All right, you're playing all this character, this human being character. You're just playing a character in the game. All right, stop holding to this. All right, who's coming to save the I? All right, they say, oh, Jesus is coming back to save us. Jesus ain't coming back to save nobody. All right, Jesus is a false character. All right, Jesus is a false character. Jesus is an imposter, impersonator of the real, and stole the I, masculine Shiva, Heru, um, um, identity, and tricking everyone so he can get your soul. All right. So, will you do your share? Because the I parent self, the I mommy self, the I mother self is already here doing the work to liberate all the I and I. But everyone have a destiny. Everyone have to take their role and do their share. Because what? All is myself and I alone exist, guys. It is you, the I that is in the body. All right. You have a destiny to play your share, to do what you're supposed to do as the self wearing the body. Just like when I opened this talk, I said that I also have a destiny, right? My role is to be the liberator and to advocate for all of the I and I self. This is what I have been doing from the time I came into my truth. I have been advocating for myself. I've been for liberation for all of the I and I from slavery, right? I have been doing this. All right. So everyone have a different role, because when I started doing this, everyone is saying, "Oh, you must fear God, and God is gonna fight you, and God is gonna kill you, and God is gonna do all this thing to me." I said, "Yeah, tell God to come. Tell God to come, because I am primal light, prepared for God. I have been prepared because light is on. I know that God was gonna come to try to steal the eye and to imprison the eye, but I have been prepared. But I want you pure self, so that I will stand and speak no matter what. Because right now, the gods, like the devil that I was, fighting with me for the past couple, just like shooting like magnetic bombs on this head. Bam! I'll be sitting and I just feel a bomb just hit on my head. Boom! So when I am talking, and especially there's always something going on in this body, but I have grown for so many years now to just ignore them and just continue to do what I am doing. All right. So the I mommy self is already here, because your father self, your father figure is a liar, is a wicked, and taught us all these kind of crazy things. But what? It is our father. Our father is have a sick and crazy mind. But what? Is still our father. So at this point in time, our father needs healing, and our father needs to do right. All right, and it's a process for our father to be healed. And then, so right now I have this guy that's beating up on this head right now. All right, so now our mommy self is here, and of course, all the I and I self in alignment to restore balance. The I, all the I pure and true self, and of course the I want you pure self. All of the I and I's are in alignment, but from that which we rise is our mommy self. If you are all the real selves in here, all right, because remember, like I said, all the souls are feminine. the all the masculine, all these male, a lot of them was cloned from a female by the gods, all right, and created all of these males in the world. All right, this is why a lot of them are going to disappear before, and there's going to be more women. And then of course, as a feminine self, the feminine self are playing role also of masculine and feminine. All right, that the soul self, when it makes its baby self the spirit, once they come in the body, they can play either role. All right, so they're playing the role of masculine, like male in the body, or female in the body. All right, so this is what's happening. So what's gonna happen is that all of the real self, the soul self, is the real self. All right, these dream characters belong in the dream. All right, so they're not real. Okay, stop holding attachment to them. Remember that what? All is the I self. All these dream characters is a projection from your mind. So they rise from you, you project them. Where you think they're gonna go back to? Right back here. They're gonna go right back onto you. So no energy can never be created or destroyed, right? It's just making forms. And so if it rise from you, it go back to you. All right. So no one needs to be worrying about, all of their clones, because they just rise from your mind. You projected them. It goes back here into your mind. The energy goes back. Not this human being, but the energy that you projected to take that form. Follow? Have to return back to you. Because this is what the gods have been doing. They take your energy and they clone the body, and you go into it. All right, so this is what's happening. So, the I parent self is here. Who will take self-responsibility? Will you take self-responsibility? Will you admit you do not know and to seek the I real self, truth? Many one refuse to stop evil, right? To stop this evil system because you believe Jesus is coming to save you, right? The I want true self is already here helping. And now you must do your share by start purifying your mind and start seeking truth and stop believing lies. Stop believing you need to clean yourself from the program that Jesus put on you, that Allah put on you, that the devil, God, whichever one, Yahweh, whichever one you've been serving. You have to purify your mind so that you can know truth. And if you just hold to some dogma and some religion, it's going to be very hard for you to know truth. It's time for slavery to end, and it's time for you to stand up and command an end to human slavery. Right? End to this barbaric slavery system where one group slave doing all the work and the other group oversees and tell you what to do and keep you depraved so you can barely survive. The overseer rules in tyranny, brutality, starvation, rape, bullying, child prostitution, and child sacrifice. It's time to end this system. And then they continually criminalize one and lock them up in jails. When who needs to go in jail? All of these government, look at what they're doing. And they say they claim immunity and impunity. But I am taking away all of those rights that they think they have for immunity and impunity. No, you have no impunity and you have no immunity. All right? It's time to save yourself, time for self-responsibility, time for self-alignment. Do the I want to be ruled by government who are enslaving ones and doing all these atrocities, raping so many children? 300,000 children go missing within a year. How does that happen? And the government don't know, and the child services don't know. No, because they are doing mass slavery, mass blood sacrifices to their demonic gods. Governments are evil. And I want to ask you, do the I know the I mother self? Do you know your mother self? The I parent self, the feminine, is here to restore order. Do you know your mother self? Why y'all calling on these gods, still calling on God, and see the evil? God has never done anything to make balance in this world. All God do is create bias. So let's talk about why duality must end. This duality, this world, this dream, this life movie, this virtual reality world, many aspects of this duality has already ended. Our world is going to be the last one, because these are the last selves that are here in the world with us, the human being, because many of our supreme selves, they already um, come awake. And because remember, for the duality to end, the self have to wake up. So when all of the selves in this realm that we call this world wakes up, this is when the duality is going to end, when all of the selves are no longer sleeping, all right, and the consciousness is awakened, right? Why this duality must end? Because the mind, the consciousness has no light. Everyone is into their imagination. You see the craziness that human beings are creating. They are so stupid. They are leaving nature and they're going to laboratory and creating fake food and plastic food. Don't you see they're stupid and crazy? Yeah, this is the craziness and delusion of this, the madness of this mind of the human beings, the one them ruling the world. They are crazy. And so I'm calling for all of this disillusion to all of these millionaires and all of them, all of these programs that they have. Yeah, it must end. It's time for all of them to wake up and see that their mind is sick. All right. Why this duality must end? Because I and I, the self, the soul, has been enslaved inside of this dream illusionary world, because the mind is so corrupt. Our mind becomes evil and sometimes tells us things that are not true and trapped us into bad habits. I and I are doing many abominable things under false disguise. Ego must end. Our mind likes to loop us into memory replay. It replays a scenario over and over and over, and we're caught up in the past or in our imagination. Has this ever happened to you? You just can't get your mind to stop. Our mind loops us in this memory replay. When we do this, we can't see things as they are, right? This is the craziness of this mind, and many ones, they are suffering. They are suffering from this mind, and they cannot find any peace of mind. And all the ones them who serve God, they can't find no peace of mind. They're tormented in their minds. Our minds need light. Stillness allows the mind to get light. Therefore, it is easier for the mind to fulfill the command that the I and I give to it. All right. This is the reason why duality must end. All right. Because all of this human sacrifice and this satanic ritual abuse that's been happening in the world, all right, the rape culture must end. This is why duality must end. All right. Because I am the self and I have a mind. My mind is wayward and rebellious. My mind is tainted with impurities because it has no light. This is why duality must end. Don't you want to have peaceful mind? Don't you want to live in a peaceful world? Don't you want to see and be in alignment with your mommy self? When have you ever been in alignment with your mommy self? You've been hearing about God forever. What happened to the feminine? You've been hearing about God. God is a liar. It's time now, right? I have a mind. The mind is just a lot of wicked. The mind is tainted with impurities and non-stop imaginations, creating things that and saying things that is not true. Our mind needs light. Without light, our mind will tell us to not be in balance with our true self. Yeah, the mind will tell us this. Then we have those ones who are doing mind control on us. Who is controlling your mind? We have the gods who are controlling our minds. We have the consciousness. That's why all of these technocrats and these scientists, they want to create their super massive computer, their super massive AI. And this is why because the consciousness now want to go and completely take over the AI so that they can control all the human beings in the world. This is not happening. You hear me? This is not happening. Are you crazy scientists? And are you government? Not happening. This is not happening. This is why duality must end, because right now their big plan is to completely enslave us into their AIs. All right, they want to take the spirit of one, to harness their spirit and trap them into their computers. But I am saying, can we live self-sufficiently? No ruling class, everyone playing a role for balance and harmony of the whole. Can we live like this? So this is why this duality have to end, because of all of these satanic ritual, this human sacrifice, this all of these crazy things that the gods have been giving human beings, all of these bad habits. And everywhere you go now, everyone is into this wizardry and witchcraft and doing evil and all of these demonic things and these satanic things, these evil things. This is all everybody is doing. So I want to let you know that the age of God rulership is over. And now is the age of truth and self-knowledge. Now is the age for the I and I to know the I feminine, the I mother self. Right? Yeah, because God cannot create anything by himself. God can only create chaos and imbalance, because God don't have no light and God is not in alignment with his feminine self. It's time to dissolve all your false beliefs, all your dogmas and your religions and your superstitions and your spiritualities and false perception and no truth. Do you want to know truth, or do you want to hold to beliefs? All religions must be dissolved, because the atheist is a religion, right? If you say, oh, I am atheist, the government, being a part of the government groups, they is a religion. Every one of them that you join is a religion, because what? They all make allegiance to one God, that they are doing blood sacrifice to, they are doing human sacrifice to, they're doing all of these satanic rituals too, and of course the sex rituals and all of this sodomy of babies and little children and drinking blood and doing craziness. No, it's time for all of this to end. Our religion must be dissolved. It's time for truth now. It's time to see things as they are. Time for truth. Do you want to continue in your ignorance? I am asking. Do you want to know your truth? The other thing, why this duality have to end, this is another thing with human beings. No one, not even the God, they don't want to accept the process of life. What is the process of life? Why you don't want to accept the process of life? You come and you go, you as an infant, and these are the process, right? Why you don't want to accept the process of life, to see things as they are? Why no one want to, and when anyone talk about this, you see, the ancient Egyptians, they accept the process of life. They see the process of life. So everyone say, why were they so have this obsession about death? Because they know that they are just animating a body. It's just the ignorance of the world that we live in, the ignorance of the people that they don't know and they don't want to see. Many ones have never seen a cadabra, never seen a dead body. You know what I'm saying? So it's not in the community where you see what happened, to the body, and you see the process, when it's going, you know what I'm saying? Many ones, they probably never been to a funeral. Some have. They might not have gone to the funeral and seeing the process of the body, and even seeing, say, the process of the cremation. The body was here, now it's completely it's gone. You know what I'm saying? But once they don't want to process, they think that, oh, someone else is going to die, and their body is not going to go through this process. And so when you talk about it, everyone, it gets all afraid. Why? Life and death is on the same coin. It is the same thing. It is the same thing. What is the difference between life and death? Life is when you are animating the body. All right. Death is when you leave out of the body. Do you know that when you go to sleep in the night, this is what you're doing? The only big difference is between when you go to sleep and when there's the death process to the body, is that the self has completely disconnected from the body. But you still have your cords connecting to the body. When you go to sleep, the self leave out of the body, but all the energetic cords are still connected to the body. So it's just the body that's in a resting state, right? So when you have a complete death to the body, no, the body cannot be revived back. This is the difference. But you leaving out of the body, you're doing this all the time, but you have no awareness that you are doing this, right? Because you are going to come back into the body, right? You ever heard of those people? Some people say they go to sleep and they never wake back up. Yeah, because when they go to sleep, something might happen into that dream, and their cord got cut from the body, right? When your cord is still connected to the body, then you come back into it. Some people might go to sleep and their cord just get disconnected, because there's a magnet that comes on your crown and just pull the self out and disconnect the cord. All right. And so it is very important that we accept the process of life. All right, because if we accept in the process of life, then we're not going to make deals with these the demonic nature to trap yourself into slavery. This is the problem that human beings have been doing. They want eternal life. They say, I want eternal life. Okay, I'm gonna make a alliance with this dark force, my evil nature, my demonic nature, so that it can give me eternal life in this body. It's not happening. It is just not happening. No one is going to get eternal life into this body, right? This body have a destiny, right? You see in the process, you come in at the stage of birth, right? And when that baby take that breath, yeah, all right. And if that baby doesn't cry, right, it means that that the spirit didn't snap into that body. All right. So this is how, when the baby is still born, right? The baby come out, no crying, nothing. That the self did not come in and animate that body, right? The self has to come in just at that time when the baby, when the birth is coming. The self does come right into the body and take that first breath. This is when the baby makes that cry. That cry is what open up the lungs. Because remember that the baby the baby was inside of water, and its lungs was not breathing, right? It was not using its lung to breathe. And so the self has to come in and do that to the body, so that that baby can take that breath, open up the pathway for the breath to, because the baby is no longer into that fluid into its womb. No, it have to adjust to this life. This is the transformation, that it's going from inside the womb to come out, right? This is all this transformation. Now, from that infancy, you see the transformation. Now you are this little human being, this infant human being, dependent on someone to take care of you. And then you become a teenage human being, and here you are now in this human being. The next process is you become a senior human being, and then you have gone through this process and say, what have I done with my life? What have I done with my life? What is my footsteps? What is my footprints that I am leaving? What did I learn? This is where you must be at, not wanting to enslave yourself to stay into a slavery. Who you enslaving? You're enslaving your real self that wants to exit out of this body. You're enslaving yourself by calling onto your demonic nature, because you want to, and they're tricking you, because no one can have, even themselves, they had a body and they no longer have this body. Everyone that have a body, you eventually have to lose it. This is the process, right? And so they themselves was doing a lot of things so that they can hold on to a body, and they can't. And so now they are losing their that metal magnetic body that they have. They are losing now to go back to their pure self, because that extra magneticness has been stuck onto them, right? That metal, they have like a metallic body, right? And so they're losing those shells, those magnetic shells on them. So there's no need now for you to be afraid of death and to be afraid of God. They say fear God and fear. No, why? Right? Remember that this is a holographic existence being projected from your mind, just like those characters in the dream, in the video game, right? So it's time to accept things and see things the way that they are, and know that it is time for us to move on from here, right? Can we live all as one, right? Can we be living as with self, what's the word self governance, you know what I'm saying? Like self-sufficiency, right? Can we all live self-sufficiently, right? No ruling class, everyone playing a role for balance and harmony. The I want you pure self. When the I is in alignment with the I light and with the I truth, one true self, then the I is gonna know what the I need to do. The I is gonna be having a pure mind. I'm gonna be in peace. This is what I want to move to. I don't want to stay into this death trap. You know what I'm saying? This life and death trap. This crazy, imagination existence. I want to be able to be liberated from my imagination. When your mind is tormented, and you, because the gods they do this to you too. They come and they torment your mind, and they give you a lot of imagery, and they're just crazy. All right. This is why this duality must end, right? So you have this one politician say Drugs have destroyed many people, but bad governmental policies have destroyed even more. All right? Why are we living in a world where we have human beings in such deprivation? You seen those ones, they are strung out on drugs and they're just like standing up. Why? Why? And who put the drugs in our community? Government. Seeking human kindness, and we are so cruel. We are so evil to all of ourselves. When you see someone in suffering, government flooding the communities with drugs. Why? When I go out and I see this, I am so disturbed by it. I am always so disturbed by it. I cry. You know, one day I was going, I think it was, I'm trying to remember if it was Home Depot or Walmart, because I wanted to get some things for my garden. And so I went. When I'm pulling out, I saw a family sitting, um a mother with a very young infant, and there was like three other children, young children there, and the father was there too. And when I saw the mother coming out with the young baby, the whole family, I mean, I'm telling you, the tears just start running, because I know that no mother is gonna just be, and you can tell too, because they were dirty. You can tell that they look like they like one family that come across the border, because it was during that time when many one was coming across the border. They look like the whole family came, and they're just like struggling. And so I gave them some of what I had. But I was just so like disturbed, because I know mother. I'm a mother, and I know mothers don't want their children to to be in suffering, and to see all the whole family just begging, out there looking very unkept, you know and so, because the community that I live in, you have to go out like in the downtown area to see like homeless people. So this was actually in my community, so you don't really see this very often. Like you'd have to go in the downtown area, where you might see that, like the homeless people on the streets, and sleeps in tent, and stuff like that. So why do we have why do some ones have thousands of acres of land, and many ones, the government are giving them money to do this? Why the government not building houses? If the government is taking the land, then every human being should have a house. Because I know that when people are doing stuff for the community, everyone in the community wants to come out and help. I have seen this over and over, because I go to a community garden, and I see when anything is to be done, everyone wants to come and help. Yeah, people love to do community service. They love to go out as a community to work together. And if one just say, hey, I can build houses, let's do this, they do not want, they want to keep all the ionized into deprivation. They want humanity to be like this, so that they can capture your souls, and you can easily say, oh, I will give you my soul so you can give me some food. They want human beings to be like this. They are evil. Government needs to be dissolved. Government flooding the communities with drugs and not taking care of the people. Dissolution to our government. You have no impunity and no immunity. This doesn't disturb you. This doesn't disturb you when you see this. How can this not disturb you when you see this? When you see ones are doing this. The next thing that disturbs me when I see so many ones with the on drugs and mind sickness and alcohol, government flooding, doing these things. Who wants to live in a world like this? Who wants to continue to live in a world like this where we don't care, where we don't see that all is I self? This is what serving God does. When you serve God, you live in a society like this. It's time to connect with the I mother self, the I feminine, the balance to the world, so that I can do the right thing and stop listening to your crazy father figure who does not know how to be. Tell me this does not disturb you when you look at it and see this. When you see one strung out, homeless and hungry, and you pass by and nothing. The government making this into a reality. Look at this. When did worlds become like this? Communities become like this? Growing up into Jamaica in the country, you don't see these things, and people were poor. That, you know what I'm saying? But people, there was no massive drug situation. Yes, people were smoking marijuana. Someone's would drink alcohol, but what we have in the world right now, it is crazy. And no government, they don't want to solve this. The ones them who are ruling the world, they don't want to solve this problem. No, it's time for all of those rich people to come down off their horses, because it is time to move from this egoic nature and this greed and this ignorance. Look at this. The rent is still too damn high. Homes, not capitalism. Help. This person is just sleeping out there on the cold concrete. What kind of society is this? And you see this everywhere you go, in every city, especially in the downtown areas. You see this everywhere, close to highways, where cars are parking. This is crazy. This doesn't have to be like this. To solve this problem is very simple, because there is plenty and plenty of space to live. But and plenty of empty houses, plenty and plenty of empty places. Life must be free. People must live here for free. Why y'all charging us to live inside of this, the belly of the I mother self? Why y'all charging us to live here? You see, this is what they do. They keep us depraved so that they can rule over us and control our minds. No, take back your power from government and time to dissolve them. Yeah, I'm calling for dissolution of all government. Yeah, because I will not stop. I will not stop till our government is dissolved. This is crazy. We should not be living like this. You are not playing the role that you went into power to play. You're not helping this community. No, you all are doing war and doing allegiance to God. Did you go into power for God? Or did you go there to help the community, to do things to uplift the community? And they're going in there worshiping gods and doing rituals and doing all these crazy things and not doing nothing for the people. So I want I and I to remember this, that this world is a dream creation. It is a hologram that is being projected from the mind of Ra. The imagination device called consciousness has gone rogue. The mind of Ra is crazy. Her mind is crazy. You should know this because you see your mind is crazy. Tell you things that is not true. The mind is crazy. It is talking on its own. It is doing all kind of crazy things. You hear one say, "Oh, I hear voices." The mind is talking on its own. It's talking on its own because it has gone rogue. The sun is the feminine, creating this world from her imagination. Ra has a masculine self called Set, the infamous devil, who is the chaos and one of the gods that is hijacking this world. All right? So he hijacked the world, take it over from Ra, plus all the other gods. They have a gang up together to defeat all the feminine. And this is why they have been ruling this world for eons. And now finally, the I parent, the I feminine self is now moving to move back into balance and harmony to restore order to this world. Everyone is given the power to create into this creation world. All right? When you come in here, Ra, she give you a copy of her mind. What have you used your creative power to create? As we see what government have been creating. We see government are evil, demented human beings. And I do not trust any government. And none of the I ego false selves. They've been creating war, weapons of mass destruction and hate. How come no food forest? How come no food forest anywhere? How come no farm? How come so much weapons of mass destruction and hate, propagandas and lies, and to spend billions of dollars to do all kind of crazy stuff, but no one wants to spend billions of dollars as farm into the community for the community? Turn every park into a food forest where people can just go into the park and get food. When they don't want to do any of these things, when they don't want to create billions of dollars to do other stuff. No, not to build houses so everyone can have a house. No, the government is not for the people. You have created a tyrannical system of government and policies and your arbitrary laws, right? You are wrong for doing these things, all right? Putting drugs into the community, yeah, and building prison systems and locking ones up in prisons and just killing the blacks for no reason, because you created this system, you created this evil system. You put drugs into their community, you put alcohol, you go at a very young age you go into the school and you tell them to program them, or your children is they say especially the boys, they want them all on drugs, these psycho drugs. They put the kids, you know how many black boys grow up on the psycho drugs because they try to tell you at a very young age that your child have this problem. I remember this when the INI sons was very young, right? I had one that was a very high IQ, and he was reading anything at 2 years, right? 2 years. And I remember one of the I don't remember what it was that one of the doctors was telling me that there was something wrong with him. I said there's nothing wrong with him. They want to do all of these tests because this is what they do to black people so that the government can run tests on them and start pumping them with drugs at a very young age. And so I said there's nothing wrong with them. And so of course, I never allowed that. And then, so when he at school, he had taken one of the gifted and talented exam, and he scored in the 99 percentile. So I said, you see, there was nothing wrong with him, but they try to do this. They try to do this to you, And so when many mothers are unfamiliar, so they trick you, and start pumping, getting your kids on these drugs and all of these things. And I have seen it happen in the schools. So many black kids, the government have done this. And then also, because if they classified for something, because they kept the people in deprivation, then they say, we will give you money for your child to be in special ed, or this is what they have been doing. This is what they have been doing. Governments are evil, and I have watched this in the schools. And they have their agents everywhere. They have their agents doing evil in the community. I know they know with their AI deceptions, because what they really wanted to do is to steal your soul, but no, they can't get the soul because they are returned back to the I parent self, and so they can't trap them in their device. What they wanted to do was to trap all the spirit when you come out of the body. They have their devices that they trap the spirit in, and so they want to use them. They want to use the spirit, because just like how the gods have been cloning human beings, and by taking your spirit and making a clone of it to animate a body. Yeah, this is what they have been doing. And so they want to do the same thing and put it into their AI to make their personalities. They're evil. They put poison in the food, poison in the water. They spread propagandas and lies and prejudice and bias. And they have all their weapons of destruction. Where they sending out these waves of sounds, and these magnetic waves to disturb you. Evil, 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 evil human beings, just like they're evil gods. Yeah, tormenting the minds of a lot of human beings. They themselves don't have no peace of mind. And so this is why they are so evil. Let's talk about God's chosen people, because they love to say this. They go around terrorizing others because they are God chosen people. So as you can see, that God is evil. God is evil. God, it's time to stop being evil. It's time for all y'all to stop calling on gods now. One believe that they are saved through Jesus Christ. Saved from what? What are you saved from? You've seen once, and evil still exists. They're saved from their sins. Who created sins? Why does sin exist? Why can't God get rid of sins? God is so powerful. Why can't God get rid of sins? Why does God allow suffering? Because God is at the root of our suffering by enslaving us and keeping us a prisoner inside of this dream. God is an imposter, hijacking this creation and being an imposter to all the I and I real selves, and pretending, spreading propagandas and lies. And why do Christians still practice their human sacrifice and their blood drinking? They're still doing this. Your God is still allowing you, because now they're doing for Jesus, they're eating Jesus flesh and eat and drink in his blood. When they drink the wine, they call it communion. It's symbolically now. Why are you eating Jesus' flesh and drinking his blood? Because he died for your sins. You see the line? This is a blood sacrifice, the human sacrifice. But Jesus, because he had so many souls, he had to know, say, okay, they're not going to buy it. They're going to still categorize me as everyone else. But if I only get the souls and I don't allow them to do blood sacrifice, no, I will get more souls. This is a trickery. Jesus is a trickster, and this is exactly what he has done. Your God is a liar and an imposter. You're still doing your symbolic human sacrifice and your blood drinking. Why you drinking? Why you eating God flesh, Jesus flesh, and drinking his blood? You don't see the correlation? Religions, all of these, Zionism, Israelism, Islamism, Christianism, devilism, Satanism, Luciferianism, Jewishism, atheism, governmentism, and politicianism. Yeah, because they are all a religion. All of these things I just mentioned is a religion, and all the other ones that I don't mention is a religion that you are practicing, and everyone is tied to a God. Every government is tied to a God. Every atheist is tied to a God. Every one of these things is tied to a God that's only giving reverence and blood sacrifice and blood drinking to. Stop it. Stop. Ignorance must end. I've come to the realization that we can only solve our human problems if we come to the realization that we have a sick, impure, and devilish mind. But many ones, they don't want to look at the roots, the core of evil, that each and every one of us have to take self-responsibility. Yes, I blame the God for a lot of things, but also it is the root cause is the mind, and everyone is wearing one. And if you don't take responsibility for your mind, your own mind, that the thoughts that are rising from it, don't do everything your mind tells you. You must see that there's something wrong with this mind. Your mind is telling you things that is not true. It's telling you, it's looping you in a memory. You want to stop thinking about this, you can't stop thinking about this thing. Your mind have no rest. And all of these human beings, they have a sick and impure mind. We have corporation running the world, all these millionaires, these oligarchs. Yeah, they don't want to share. They are very egotistical and ego righteous. All right, and they don't want to share anything. They want everything for themselves. And every one of them is is serving a God. They're in this group. It's all a religion. Corporation is a religion. All of these things is a religion because it is attached to a God. We have an ego-based societal problem. The rulers of the world want all for themselves and do not want to share the earth's resources. They want us to stay in deprivation so they can come to us and say, okay, give me your soul, you do this, you do that, and then I will give you some riches, I will give you food. No, it is your inalienable right to these things, because we are all placed here onto this earth so that we can explore it and learn. But what have we learned? If you have not learned how evil this mind can be, how evil the human beings can be, and how evil and horrendous gods can be, when ones do not have light and when one is wearing a dual consciousness, all right? Don't you want to get out to take this evil mind off of you? Your mind is tormented. Don't you want to have a pure mind? We don't see all as one humanity, and we don't see all as one self. We have a problem with the mind, our ego. We have an impure and very habitual mind. We are too engaged in our imagination and lack the skill to maintain a pure and peaceful mind. Nobody wants to sit and to bring peace to your mind. We're constantly fire our mind. We have to engage in stillness. We have to do these things. It's just inevitable because this has to happen for this duality to end. It's inevitable that we move ourselves. This is what the I self is doing right now. All right. We are inside of a holographic world, right? We are inside of a life movie into this virtual reality world, entranced in a sleeping, dreaming state. Therefore, we have forgotten our real, pure self while we are wearing this body avatar. Every time you put this avatar on, right, we have completely forgotten ourselves. We don't remember ourselves, right? We do not know our true identity. We suffer from false self identity and an inherent mind sickness. How are we going to purify ourselves? How are we going to move the balance? We have a government that is a criminal organization that does not care about its members. And I am calling for a dissolution of all government. It is time for community self sufficiency. All prisons must be abolished. Instead of building prison, build retreat and stillness center for ones to go and learn techniques to balance their mind. Build factories to fill the need of the community. Create food forests and farms in every community to solve food issue. Life must be free. All should live here inside of this dream illusionary world for free. Why are we being charged and living in deprivation? All must be here performing their civic duties. Life must be free. What exactly is life? Why are we being charged? Why are you keeping us in deprivation and slavery? Remember that this world is a dream projecting from the mind of the consciousness. This is a holographic world, a virtual reality video game. Who are all these characters in this game? Who is animating the characters in the game? Who is really being enslaved into this world? Who is being enslaved here? The I self called the soul came in to explore this imagination world, and the mind, the consciousness, and all the dual nature enslave the souls. What an horrendous experience this has been for the I pure self. For eons, the I exist in slavery and lost animating a dream character in the sick, demented mind of consciousness. The consciousness is deceiving everyone in this world right now because many ones are thinking that this consciousness is not confusing them. Why don't you know who you are? Why don't you know yourself? Imagine your parent self is here to rescue the I and I from the pits of hell, which this world is for the pure self trapped into here. The souls are crying out in agony for the I parent self to come and to liberate the I and I. And here you are playing this human being and have created devices to trap and imprison the I pure self. Look at this ignorance. Look at this ignorance. Everyone is saying, "Oh, what are these orbs? What are these things? What's happening to the?" You think that you don't even know yourself, and you see all of this. You come and you open your eyes and you see this creation. You don't know how it came about, and you hijack it and take it over and is ruling. And yourself is here saying, "Hey, I am here in this energy form." But you think that because you are animating this body, you don't see yourself as an energy. Have you ever seen your real self? You have never seen yourself animating this body. Have you seen yourself animating this body? You see what you look like. You're just an energy. But here you into this body and you think that you are this body. Know that the Hyperion self and pure self replicas have been hunted for eons by their masculine selves, the gods. The gods started a war against their feminine self, the pure self, not wearing this consciousness device that they are wearing, all right, and been fighting and holding the I in slavery ever since. The I and I no longer want to create and experience an imagination creation. The I and I have learned how horrendous and dangerous an imagination world is for the I pure self. Therefore, the I self soul is waiting to unify with its baby self called the spirit, animating the body. And all the souls want to be free. All souls are free. All selves are free. You know the suffering the I self, the soul has been in being in slavery to these gods, them wicked, wicked. Do you know that your soul have been in slavery? Because many ones they don't know. Why are you so unaware that the I real self is suffering under this tyrannical and brutality by the gods? Why are you so unaware of this? Do you know who you really and truly are? But I want to let you know that your soul has been in slavery and wants its liberation. Your soul has been in slavery and wants its liberation. It is time now. All souls are free. All selves are free. I want the I and I to remember that the I is here animating this game, wearing this game console. You see this thing that you have on your eye, right? This game console device. It immerses the I in the game, this life movie, right? This virtual reality world. Here, you're here with the device on. Here is the virtual reality world, right? These characters are in the game as the avatar. Are they the real? Are you the real who have the device on? Who has a device on is the real, right? And these are the avatar, the characters in the game. Is this character the I? I am asking. Is this character the I, or is this I, the I over here? Right? It's the same thing. These human beings in a, in a this game, inside of this game, this human being character, right? The I self that is animating the character is the real. This human being is not real. All right. No, the I self said, hey, I want to get out of this game, right? But the characters are trying to hold the self with the device on. Because only way you're going to get out of the game is if you take the device off. All the gods are the I egoic nature, character enslaving and torturing the I inside of the creation. Imagine the avatar inside the video game wanting the game to continue, so it devised a plan to have you trapped within the game device and you cannot get out of the game device until you're calling your mother. You're like, mama, mama, can you come and take this device off of me? Can you come and pull this off of me? Now your mother has come to pull the device, this thing that you are wearing that immerses you in the game, to pull it off of you. Now you're gonna finally, this character can no longer exist because you're not there animating it. You follow? This is what's happening right now. The game characters know that when you exit the game ends, but you're refusing to let the game end. Why? Why are you refusing to end this game that yourself is trapped in? Because you're too attached to the dream characters. Yeah, because one of the game characters have hijacked the game and have taken it over. How will you get out of the game? Wouldn't you want to get out? Don't you want to be free? You want to be trapped with this device on you and you're stuck playing this character when you can move on to do something else and create something else? This is what's happening now. The I parent self is here to remove this device that entraps the I in the game so that the I can wake up and know that the I is in a game. In this life movie, all the characters are only a figment of the I imagination. This is a false self. Human beings are not real. Human beings, you are not real. Human beings are characters in a dream. It is the I, the real self, that is the only real in the dream that is animating the body. We've seen these bodies coming and going. Just the same thing with the gods. The gods, they are not real. They are characters in a dream. All right? So it is time for us to know this truth. It's time to see things as they are. All right? The I create an imagination world and also create all the characters to play all the roles in this created world. Who are all these characters? It is all the I playing these roles. Right? It's time to lose attachment to all of your dream characters. I am not this body. I am not this mind. I am not this body. I am not this mind. I am not my body. I am not my mind. It's time to self inquire and know truth. Know that your God is a liar. You cannot have eternal life into this human body. All these human beings and their gods will eventually be dissolved and be no more. There's a process to return back to the I ultimate true state. This metamorphosis is happening right now. All warmongers and evildoers will not get to participate in our new experience of the non-duality. So you can stay here and do your evil, but this duality is ending and you will not get to move on in non-duality. It's time for ignorance to end. Yes, the gods them rule the I and I under tyranny and slavery. And so I want to be liberated. Know that each of these duality, they rule their domain for all of the, they split up the world in all of the different part, even this world that we are in. Many of the different gods is ruling different parts. They have their own territory. This is the god gangs, just like any other gang. They're ruling their territory. If another god come into their territory, you see they're fighting. The gods, they're always warring with each other. And so this is all of the duality. All of the selves are inside of each other. This is how all of the worlds are inside of each other. And so it's time for all the Ionites to wake up. It's time to end soul slavery, human and world slavery. Time to end the ruling class, right? And it's time for all to live in harmony and balance as oneself. Give honor and reverence to the I parent self, because the human beings and the gods, they are toddlers throwing hissy fits when their parent self is showing them how to be, because they don't know how to be. Let's face it, human beings don't know how to be. The gods, they don't know how to be either. Isn't it why the gods them create hell to punish human beings for their sins? Because they say human beings don't know how to be, so they punish human beings. The gods punish human beings. Now the human beings create prison system, because they themselves do a lot of evil, but when someone else do any evil, the government want to punish them and lock them up into prisons. When who are the biggest criminal? The government. As a parent, you have to make the right decisions for your baby self because they are not yet of maturity and lack the true self knowing as a result of being the ego false self. You are enslaved inside the I dream creation and do not recognize the I self. You do not recognize your mother. It is time to remove the ego's cloak of disguise I and I is wearing. Therefore, the I parent self is here to remove this imagination device off of the I and I so that the I can be liberated. Yeah, it's time to remove your mask. Take off this device that you have, this ego device, this consciousness. So, do you want to get to the real solution to being a noble, honorable, self knowing human being? Do you want to be free from your self ignorance? It is inevitable that the I know that I want you, pure self. This is what is happening right now. Of course, these sinister tyrants, they don't want all the I and I, the self souls, to be free. So they are fighting a war to continue their evil ways to enslave the souls in their device they are creating. They are refusing to do the honorable thing to liberate the I self and apologize and change their evil ways. No, instead, they are blinded by their ignorance and their delusional mind and are hell-bent on creating nuclear war to the annihilation of human beings so they can hide in their bunkers underground. All evil must end. And just like the story of the emperor's new clothes, right? The emperor is not wearing any clothes. When you see things, you must call it out. All souls are free. All selves are free. Victory, victory, victory. So I stand in confidence. I fulfill my destiny, and I must restore order to I and I. I see things as they are. I know that all is myself. I also know that my ego false self will never see me as one. I know that my ego is fighting a war against the I and will never do the right thing to restore balance. Therefore, I accept things as they are for this prison existence. I now change the things that I can. I now take command of the I destiny. I take responsibility to fulfill the I destiny under the law of the I one true pure self without reservation. Evil must come to an end, and it's time to be honorable and self knowing human beings. Be kind, share, and stop being egotistical. I denounce all ties with all the I ego false self, the imperialists, the colonizers, the slave masters. I annul all contract between I ego clones and I. I stand up for I self right. It is liberation time. I stand against oppression and hatred towards the I and I. I am sovereign and I fight for I liberation. And with this, I file a case against all gods. I file a case against all the I ego false selves and I clone selves, the human beings. With the I, one true pure self, all manifest, none being, I alone exist. You have committed a crime against the I one true pure self, unmanifest. Your mind is corrupt and your hand is soiled with blood and iniquity. It is time to humble yourself, calm your ego down, and take a look in the mirror at all your crimes against the I and I. All these government I am addressing right now. I command you return from whence you came. You have no immunity and you have no impunity. What are the lessons that you need to learn? It's time to turn your lens inwards to know truth. Your age of ruling is over. Gods, Your age of rulership is over. Governments, oligarchs, your age, corporation, your age of rulership is over. Militia, with your gun warfare and all your warfares, your age of rulership is over. What kind of ruler have you been? What footprints are you leaving behind? I file a case against all gods, all ideal egoic nature, in ignorance that has imprisoned I and I for ages. I file a case against the I Supreme Ego, aka the infamous consciousness, the mind of the world, that has gone rogue and demented, deceiving all the I and I, the real self. I file this case with the I want true pure self, unmanifest. I alone exist. I file a case against all the human beings, all the I human clones. I stand, the I and I stand in human, the I and I stand in union against the I Supreme Ego Consciousness, known by many names. The I and I stand in union against all the I dual nature, the I egoic nature. The I and I stand in union against all evil human beings committing atrocities and slaughter against the I and I taking human form. This is wrong. Evil must end. I and I stand against the ones spreading propaganda and lies. I and I stand against your rulership and governance. You are not fit to rule and govern the I and I. I I take command of the ice of destiny. You are cocooned in ignorance and delusion. You are a dream, egoic, evil, demented character and must be dissolved. I stand against all human beings calling for war and destruction of others. Do you want the same for yourself? Follow the golden rule. I stand against all human sacrifice to all gods. I stand against human rulership and mind control and food control. I stand against all gods. I stand against all government, the ruling class, exploiting or oppressing other human beings. I stand against all cooperation and oligarch, exploiting all the land and resources for their own egoic gain, and then charging us for the natural resources provided from our mother nature, charging us to live here, keeping us depraved and in horrendous condition. How dare you? Who do you think you are? I stand against all evil regime and bully culture. I stand against all the I clones and evil false selves on the hunt to eliminate the Black Messiah, advocating for sovereignty and food self-sufficiency. I stand against our government, technocrats, and the nefarious bankers and all their allies enslaving ones in their barbaric systems and regimes. I stand against them sodomizing and raping us. What you are doing is wrong. You have no impunity. You have no immunity. You will be judged by your actions. You will enter the court of the I want true pure self, unmanifest. I alone exist. All human beings must be made to come into awareness of what they have done. All human beings must be dissolved to return to their ultimate true state. Victory, victory. I stand against human rulership, slavery, rape warfare, sodomy warfare, drug warfare, biological warfare, sonic warfare, nuclear warfare, dark matter weapons warfare, magnetic warfare, magnetic energy weapons warfare, I stand against all mind control warfare and all indoctrinations. I am liberated and I am free. Victory, victory. I am liberated and I am free. Victory, victory. I be a witness to the evil and atrocities committed in the name of gods. And I command that this evil be dissolved and be no more. I advocate now on behalf of all the I, the real selves. Therefore, I demand my liberation from tyrannical rulership and mind control. I demand I liberation from this sleeping, dreaming state. I demand for this dream to end. I dissolve this dream. I demand and command this evil system of government be dissolved and end now. How dare you want to continue to hold I in slavery? You have no rights. I command all evil ends now. Everything I have created, I demolish. I dissolve all I demons, and I dissolve all I monsters. I dissolve all I clones. I dissolve all I egoic nature. I dissolve all I ego false selves. I dissolve I supreme ego consciousness and all I supreme ego false selves and clones as I have commanded. So let it be, so shall it be. It is done. It is so. Victory, 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 victory. I am victorious. I am triumphant. I am liberated. I am free. I want I and I to remember this, and this world is a dream. Are you ready to move from this duality to non-duality? Are you ready to return to the I ultimate true state? The I is too attached to this dream world with all your dream things, your dream life, and your dream family. The sun is dissolving the fabric of the dream, and all the I and I must awake from the sleeping, dreaming state. Because why? Duality must end. I have been imprisoned, been living in deprivation for eons into this dream. And I must be liberated. I must be free. All things created must come to an end. Know that all the I selves are inside of each other. And so, this is how all of the selves are. And they're building each world into their body. All the duality is merging right now. This is the stack pile of selves. This is all the I selves existing. And here we are in this creation right here. So you see all the levels of the I self. Yes, this is a metamorphosis time, because what is the transformation process? This metamorphosis is happening. Time to transform from this stage to the next. Trust the I One True Pure Self, the all-knowing. What are human beings transforming to be? We're moving from this dual egoic nature to our true pure state. From ignorance of being to self-knowing beings. From beings without light to be in the light. Why are you afraid? I am asking. It's time to see things as they are and face the I truth. When you were a fetus in the womb of your human mother self, did you know the process? You are inside the womb of the I real mother self. You still do not know the process of the next transformation. Not my will, but thine will, the I want you pure self. Because my view is very limited. It's a tunnel vision. But the I One true pure self sees all. Right? It's the I One true pure self is the self at the top who sees all. Right? Is this self. This is the I One true pure self, is the self that sees all. And all of the other self is inside out. And the self is infinite. Just keep going. All right? So, from that which I rise, to that I return. I am free from my imaginary bondage. I am free from my imaginary bondage. I return to my ultimate true state. I transition from being to non-being. I move effortlessly with ease from manifest to unmanifest. All is myself, and I alone exist. Victory, victory. I am the blackness, I am stillness, I am that I am. I am that has no name. I am that can't be explained. Thank you for joining. Do you have a question? What is your experience? How are you feeling? Please let me know how you are doing. I want to thank you tremendously for your time. May all beings know the I self. Thank you. I am primal light, prepared for this dream duality existence in this shattered fractal state with this body avatar as Aset, Mahat, Atenra. I bow to the I and I in self, in light, and in truth. Much honor. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Salutation to the neutral self, primal light. Hail, hail. Salutation to our parent self, primal light. Hail, hail. Salutation to I self supreme, primal light. Salutation to the sun. Hail, light in the world for all to see. Holding the balance in duality. Primal light, pure consciousness be. Hail, hail to the self supreme, the neutral self, primal light. One and only unicorn, warrior for the cause, allowing the world just because all is one in myriads of form. Hail, 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 hail. Salutation to the self supreme. Hail, hail to the neutral self, primal light. Hail, hail to the world's heart, holding the balance scale on the battlefield in a dual fate. Fighting for the lost soul to be free. Oh, primal light, Mother Supreme. Oh, primal light, Mother Supreme. supreme, win the victory. Victory, win the victory. Victory, win the victory. All souls are free. All selves are free. Victory, victory, victory. The world is balance, the world is harmony. Victory, victory. Hail, hail, salutation to myself supreme, neutral self, primal light. Hail to myself supreme, supreme sun, art and rock, the atom. Hail, hail to the supreme sun. If you close your eyes, the world goes into dark. Open your eyes, awake from the sleep, awake to stop the dream. Recreate the world, give it a new start. None new world, none new beings, none new pure consciousness. Oh, Primalite, Mother Supreme. Oh, Primalite, Mother Supreme, win the victory. Victory. Recreate the world, give it a new start. None new world, none new beings, none new pure consciousness. Oh, Primalite, Mother Supreme. Oh, Primalite, Mother Supreme, win the victory. The world is balance, the world is harmony. Victory. I self is balance, I self is harmony. Victory. Victory. Self unity. All selves are free. Victory. All is I, and it's only I. Victory. Victory. Hail, hail to the I, self-supreme, not being one true self, unmanifest stillness. Hail, all is I, and I alone exist. All is I exist alone. Victory, 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 victory.
Yes, yes, yes.